Hand hygiene is a way of cleaning your hands to substantially reduce potential harmful microorganisms on the hands. It is considered a primary measure for reducing the risk of transmitting infection among patients and healthcare personnel. World Hand Hygiene Day takes place on every 5th of May. The World Hand Hygiene Day campaign is part of a major global effort led by the World Health Organization to save lives, as it is the single most important way to stop the spread of infection. The hand is a very valuable part of the body. People collect money, exchange gifts, and also eat with their hands. But the hand can also be destructive through the transmission of infection, which could lead to death. The hand is the most viable and common means of transmitting infection. There are billions of germs on the hands which cannot be seen with the eyes, but if kept clean, diseases can be averted.
Very important. It's the most important thing you can do to prevent spread of infections around the hospital. We know that many times patients go to hospital with one disease and end up getting another, or they going to hospital with one disease and end up getting a more serious one. So one of the ways we prevent it, and National Hospital is committed to, is by spreading the news of hand hygiene. We ensure that our patients perform hand hygiene, and we teach our clients also to perform hand hygiene so infections are not transmitted.
When it comes to infection, the hand is the most viable means of transmission. Therefore, keep your hands always clean. Don't assume, particularly when you visit a sick person, particularly when you visit a healthcare institution, when you're leaving, make sure that you wash your hands. If you have a hand sanitizer, use it before you leave the environment. If there is no hand sanitizer, wash your hand with soap and water. There is no particular soap that is better than the other. We find to use soap and water to wash your hand.
Studies have shown that about 1/3 of patients that die in hospitals die from infection. Doctors and nurses transmit to patients, patients transmit to doctors and nurses, and it can be acquired from the environment, but hand hygiene could help reduce the spread of such infections.
The rate of hospital-acquired infection varies from environment to environment. I mean, in some areas it's as low as 2-3%. In some it's as high as 25 to 30%. So most of these infections, as we have them today, are so resistant that once you acquire them, treatment is a very big challenge. In fact, some of the bugs do not have any effective treatment as of today. And so we prefer to keep these infections down. If we don't transmit them, they will not infect anybody. And it has been established that the hand is the most viable and most common route of transmission. And so that's why the WHO has picked up the hand. It's not as if the hand is the only one, but it's the most important one in the transmission of infection within the healthcare environment. We want to deal with the hand. If we deal with the hand, we'll be breaking, a cycle of transmission of infections.
Infection prevention and control, including hand hygiene, is critical to achieve universal health coverage, as it is a practical and evidence-based approach with demonstrated impact on quality of care and patient safety across all levels of the health system. In order to prevent these infections, it is therefore important to ensure that you keep your hands clean at all times by washing them with soap and water and using hand sanitizers.
If you're from my village, they just do one hand in the water and it's called hand washing. Really, that's not hand washing. The most important parts, the parts that have the most bacteria, are your fingernails. So in performing hand hygiene, you have to make sure that your fingernails, the nail beds, are well scrubbed. So that is one of the most important things in hand hygiene. Then, of course, there are specific steps that have been taken, should be taken. They don't have to be taken back to back, but the essence of those steps is just to make sure that each and every part of your hand is free from harmful bacteria.
World Health Organization is calling on everyone to get inspired by the global movement to achieve better health and well-being for all people at all ages, including financial risk protection, access to quality essential healthcare services, and access to safe, effective, quality and affordable essential medicines and vaccines for all.
The health authorities are there, right from the local government level down to the state, down to the federal level. There, of course, we have institutions like ours today. Today we are involved. We have our Infection Prevention and Control Committee dealing with it. sensitizing people, teaching them what to do to break the cycle of transmissions. We also expect that the same thing will be going on in so many other hospitals. At the community level, we expect that the various health authorities will take measures to communicate the information to the communities, to the people in the community. Those of you in the media also, you pass the message back to them. I mean, we have been doing a lot of marvelous work. So we expect that you pick it up as an issue that we need to disseminate to the communities. It's everybody's business. We have to break the cycle of infection.
Remember, clean care for all is in your hands.